I love them. So good. They feel like a
Right, have we started yet?
No, this is ridiculous.
Anyway.
Ollie, are we starting yet?
Yeah, we're live. This is how we chose to start the episode.
I'm watching YouTube. We're not live.
You are live.
No, no, we're not. It's still.
I
You
don't
guys were
know.
Oh, hang on.
arguing
Are we?
you were
Oh, we're
arguing-
live. Oh, we are live.
You were arguing about biscuits, and so I thought
I'm
I'd put
sorry,
you
I brought
live,
it up. I'm sorry, I brought it up.
and then you stopped arguing about biscuits and just started
Let's
staring
just-
at the screen.
Let's just
The
fill in
credits.
the audience
Interrupt
on
the
what's
credits,
going on
please.
here. Is the fact that Hannah,
No.
shockingly,
It's the fact that Martin likes hobnobs,
Yeah.
which are an inferior biscuit,
I couldn't
and
agree
I'm
more.
putting digestives on a pedestal.
Yeah.
Have
The
we
chocolate
just
hobnob.
relaunched the pre-show?
Oh, wait.
Just another. The
I've
chocolate
got the
hobnob is the
intro.
best biscuit. Anyway, cut to the intros, Ollie. Let's just go to the intros.
Satellite Live. Satellite Live. Satellite Live.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to Satellites Live. I'm Martin Saunders. I'm in the church centre, and that means I'm joined once again by the Heat Miser, who is the absolute star of the show every week. And also
Charles thought it was him.
Charles Merritt, the children's worker. Hello, Charles.
Hello, I can't believe I've just become second billing to a thermometer. Like,
Your
It's not a
favourite
thermometer.
biscuit.
It's not a thermometer. You need to learn the
Basically,
difference between a thermometer and
basically.
thermostat. Also with us, and definitely not having second billing, Hannah Bowen,
Hello.
I don't know
who
why.
has very weird opinions on biscuits.
Oh, we're
I take back my claps.
rude.
A reverse clap is the same as a clap, which is a bit awkward.
Can we just have some? Can we just have a discussion on this? Just settle this right now. Hannah, you think the hobnob is an inferior biscuit to
I
rich
think
tea?
it feels like, okay, so digestive, solid biscuit. Rich tea, I can eat a whole packet and I feel fine.
Yep.
Hobnob is like eating like what you get in a hamster cage. It's like
Yeah.
compacted soil, and then you've like chucked a little bit. Bleh,
It's like dust.
it's
It's like
it's
big
dust
dust.
in a biscuit.
Yeah. Chunky dust.
I think we
Like they have
need
this much passion for
we need to
digestive.
settle this evening. So, you might want to orientate your quiz names around this very debate this evening, or you might want to comment on WhatsApp or on the live chat, or if you want to be anonymous in your biscuit opinions, you can use Paul Ev as well. But we want to know tonight. We want to know tonight. Forget everything else. We're not going to talk about theology. We just want to know which is the best biscuit. And I think the choices are limited to hobnob, chocolate hobnob,
Yeah.
chocolate digestive, and then rich tea. That's a crazy person's choice.
It's
I'm
ridiculous.
You can't even have that in a poll.
doing a
No.
Rich tea, that's like worse than no food.
That is lies. Stop spreading the fake news, Martin. Come on.
All right, Donald. So we've got a lot to get through this evening, and we're obviously we're looking this evening at the theme of living more sustainably. So we're trying to talk about how we've learned and grown through this period of lockdown. And one of the things we're looking at is how we can live more sustainably. So we're going to be talking about that lots later on, and you're going to be able to join in with your comments and things. And you know, if you want to talk about biscuits too, that's fine with me. We've also got two cahoots, so we're going to rattle through some notices. First of all, Hannah, why don't you kick us off?
Yes, Burnt Breakfast is on a Sunday morning. It's gorgeous. It's people on our live stream talking, catching up, talking about God. Martin says some beautiful, helpful things, and we chat. It's gorgeous. If you want to come, you can't just rock up. You have to get your parents to sign up on ChurchSuite, and then you get the link in an email, and then you can join. Charles. So come join us on a Sunday morning. It's really a beautiful way to start the week. And then straight after that, you can watch the service, which is live streamed, not from this YouTube site, but from the St. Mary's YouTube site. So join us at 10:30 as everyone is watching that. Yeah.
Great. And you might want to buy Martin's book, We Are Satellites, which I've beautifully drawn here for you. Look, it's a great book. Really recommend it. It's the core foundations of what we believe here at Satellites, so make sure you read it. If you want to go to be on our WhatsApp group, then you can do as well. You just have to ask Martin, okay? And we've got WhatsApp groups for year 9s to 13s and year 7 and 8s. And there's also a digital mode. If you don't want to find out what everyone else is thinking, you can go on the digital mode, which is just an update one and no one else can comment. And finally, you can follow us on Instagram at St. Mary Satellites, I believe. And we post lots of exclusive stuff like Game Time, which never makes it on the big screen here at Satellites Live because we always conveniently run out of time. Maybe because I keep winning them all, Martin. I don't know whether that's a coincidence or not.
Let's move on. Ollie, you've got a notice. You've just put a notice on the chat there.
If you would like to vote for your favourite biscuit, please do now at poll.ev.com/satellites-live, and we'll find out. I'll reveal later on what the poll is saying. But
if Martin wins, I might actually just start crying because you are so wrong.
It's not just Martin. It's not just Martin. It's everyone else.
No, it's
than you.
not.
No,
Oh.
I agree with Hannah. I would like to say that. But anyway, back to the notices.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, so every weekday, we, and by we I mean I, produce a daily 5-minute reflection for you. It is for you, and I'm making it every day. So if you're not listening to it, then I'm doing it for nothing. So you can listen to it on Spotify. It's called Orbit. It is a little Bible reading, a little thought about the Bible reading, a little prayer, and a little activity for you to do that day to put your faith in practice. I hope it's really helpful. Lots of people have actually got in touch and said that they're enjoying it. So we're going to keep going for a while. And you can also get it on the church website. It's just there on the front page. There's a special button which says Orbit. If you've never downloaded an Orbit, do it now. Go to Spotify right now. Type in St. Mary's Reigate Orbit, and it will be there. And you'll be like, oh, it's on Spotify. It's really proper. And you can listen to it. It's free and everything. Just want to say a quick thing about next term. So we are planning, as I said last week, to return to face-to-face youth work after Easter. So the first Wednesday back after the summer holidays, which I think is the 21st. Is that right?
It is.
We will be running groups here in the centre. For the first few weeks, we are going to have to do it in quite managed ways. So we'll be in smaller groups, we'll be in sort of pods. Hopefully that won't last for too long, but it is a way of us getting back into the same room. So I hope you will join in with that. All the details will be going out via email, probably during Easter, the Easter holidays. And finally, I just want to say there is no Satellites Live next Wednesday because Ollie and I are off running a conference somewhere else, I'm afraid. And so, which is also, I'm really sorry about that. But you could do it without me, but we realized you couldn't do it without Ollie.
I can't run a live stream.
So
I can barely host one.
Although Ollie, we have got secret plans afoot, haven't we?
We have secret plans, yes we do.
Oh.
So people need to keep an eye on the Instagram, always updated. And just watch this space. And we might try and do some sort of behind the scenes thing at the conference that we're doing.
Oh, look at this. We're at Luton. We're doing a conference.
All right. Do I detect just a faint hint of bitterness there, Charles?
No.
Right. Shall we do the Kahoot?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Great. So, Ollie, if you can let us have the code. And this is the moment everyone's been waiting for. And I think we might get our first hint of where people stand on the big debate of the day in the naming here. So the code is 7354682.
Well, just as people arrive, I would like to give you an update on the current standings of the biscuit. And
We point out first, this was a genuine conversation we were having.
yeah, we were. I was literally.
Stage.
I was
This
counting
just
down
nonsense.
till we were going live, and they were just arguing about hobnobs and digestive biscuits. So I decided to put them live. But the current standings are 33% for digestive biscuits, but 40% for hobnobs. So hobnobs are just edging the victory at the moment.
Thank you.
Charles has joined the quiz with team name Luton Losers. Don't think we didn't see you put your phone down there, Charles. We know that's you. I mean,
Someone's voted for Rich Tea. Can we just look at the Rich Tea? Rich
Yes.
Tea. Says Rich Tea.
Love a rich tea.
Rich
My wife's on there. I love Martin, I see. We are now widening open the debate because it was just about digestives and it was about hobnobs, and now people are throwing in custard creams and Oreos. Once you do that, now I've got to ask a different question to the team, which is, what is the greatest of all biscuits? If you've got a complete biscuit free-for-all, which biscuit are you going for?
Chocolate bourbon.
Oh, that's good.
And a cup of tea. Has to have a cup of tea.
Yeah.
Giles, do you have a favourite biscuit?
I mean, genuinely, mine is a chocolate hobnob. I'm not gonna lie. So
Wow.
I feel really personally attacked. I think this is it. I just feel attacked from all sides. My biscuits, my friends.
You should feel ashamed.
Yeah. Well, I don't.
Why have we got two Elizas this evening? We've got Eliza Hamilton and Eliza the Vase. Is that a vase?
I think it's like a trophy in it.
I think it's a cow.
Oh, it's a cow.
Yeah,
I don't think that's a cow.
It's got horns.
I thought that was a
horns
trophy.
or handles?
Well, I guess cows don't have horns, so I just answered my own
Oh,
question.
wait, let me just.
Wait, do they have
I-
horns?
I don't know. It's quite blurry on my screen.
No, I think
Lotus Biscoff. Look at this. People are really getting involved now.
They are. Have you
That's a
ever
good
had
biscuit.
a Cadbury's rich tea? It's like
No.
Cadbury's rich
Yeah,
tea?
no, Hannah. Trust me, it will change your life. I just remembered it as we were talking about rich tea.
You're about to give me diabetes.
No,
What
it
is
is.
a Cadbury's rich tea?
It's literally like a normal Cadbury's milk chocolate bar, like that kind of chocolate, on top of a rich tea. Like, so it's like a digestive biscuit, except from
I
the
don't believe you.
the
I'm
biscuit part
Googling
is
it.
rich tea. No, trust me.
Sorry,
unbelievable.
someone's just come in as Sponge Finger.
What? Sponge finger?
I cannot believe that is your favourite biscuit. Although Sponge Finger would be a great Bond villain as well.
Good to see a return for It's Me, Mario. And also, we've got the Biscuitinator this week. There's a lovely running theme
I love
with
it.
those names. Well done, everyone. Should we actually do the quiz, or should we just talk about biscuits
let's do
for the
the quiz.
rest of the hour?
Yeah.
All right, let's play. So tonight's quiz is how green are you? Because it's all about living more sustainably this evening. And so we've got about 8 questions. There's a couple of double points in there as well. Let's see how we get on. Question number 1. Approximately how much of the world's electricity now comes from renewable sources? Is it 1%, 5%, 10%, 20%? What are renewable sources? Hannah, you're a scientist.
Wind, solar,
Wind,
the
yeah.
wave one that I can't remember the name of,
Waves.
nuclear.
Is nuclear renewable?
Yeah.
Well, it's not
Oh.
doing any harm apart from when it really does do harm. I did well in biology, but that's all I've got. I don't know.
Yeah. Nuclear, completely harmless.
Kinetic.
Well, the answer is that 10% of the world's electricity now comes from renewable sources. I don't know if that's good or bad, really. I think
It's quite low.
is that encouraging?
No.
That's better than 0.
That's another way of looking at it. Absolutely.
Way of looking at it.
Great. So, great to see Mrs. Saunders up there in second place.
Yeah. And we, unlike the Premier League, Arsenal are in first. So well done. And Chocolate Hob is in third. Charles is #1 fan in fourth, and Cookies in fifth.
If you say cookies, you have to say it like Cookie Monster, though.
I've never seen that. So.
Oh, you loser.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Right. So let's move on.
Charles?
Just stroll past that. Question number 2. When is Earth Day?
Wow.
Oh, I know
When is
this one.
Earth Day? Is it April the 22nd, December the 21st, June the 30th, or May the 15th? Can anybody do Earth Song by Michael Jackson?
What have we done to the world?
Oh, I just launched into the best bit.
That was amazing. That was like a little duet between you two. That's better than anything you've ever done on Satellites 56.
Hey.
And it's 10 of you got the correct answer, April 22nd. What's that done to the scores? Ollie!
Let's have a look. Oh, big movement here. Eliza Hamilton is now in first, and I'mCool.com is in second. Wow. Yeah. See, it seems the top 5 from the last round didn't get that question right. So.
Was tricky.
Yeah.
Let's see what the next question does. Which of these 2 options uses less water? Washing up in a sink with a plug or using a dishwasher? Which of those uses less water? What do you think, team?
Well,
I went for a dishwasher.
I
What?
once was told that if you eat a burger, like to produce the burger, like it's the same amount of water as if you left the shower on for 3 months.
Who told you
Hang on.
that?
A movie.
Well, after that little interlude, 11 people got that right. Actually, a dishwasher. As long as it was a dishwasher made after 1994, apparently.
Yeah.
I can't believe anyone's got a dishwasher now that was built 30 years ago. If you have, do get involved in the chat. Great, 11 if you got that right. Let's see what that's done to the scores.
Let's have a look. Oh,
Ooh.
Digests More is now in first place, and Rich T has shot up the leaderboard. In
No!
Boo.
Yeah, I think what we're gonna find out here is whoever is the highest ranking biscuit in the Kahoot is the superior biscuit. So you know what to do if.
Come on, Hobnob.
Needs to win. Come
on, Choc Hob.
Right.
Right, this one's a puzzle,
and
it's double points. You've got to move these into the right order. You have to start with the most polluting mode of transport to the least polluting mode of transport. Okay, so you put these 4 things in order from the most polluting to the least polluting if all the seats are occupied. A bus, a bicycle, a plane, a train.
All the seats are occupied.
Yeah. So which is least polluting? Well, sorry, most polluting is your first option. And then you go through to least
I think
polluting.
I've got it wrong. I'm not happy.
I reckon.
It depends what you're talking about, but
I mean, it seems clear what I'm talking about. It's in the question.
I know.
Depends how many beans you've had before you've gone on a bike ride, I guess.
Do you know what? 28% people got that right. The correct order is the plane, obviously the most pollution, then the bus, then the train, which is what would have tripped people up, I think, and then the bicycle.
But it's electricity, isn't it?
I'm behind your wife.
It's least polluting. It's least polluting. Right, let's see. What's that done?
Oh, big movement.
Oh, Choc Hobnobs
is now in first. The Biscuitinator is in second. Chocolate Hobnobs, unfortunately, is now in third. And Biscoff is in fourth. Sorry. And Hobnobs Forever is in fifth.
I've got to ask you a question. What do you think the Biscuitinator's catchphrase is?
You've taken the biscuit.
Well, you can work on it if you want. We can come back to it. All right. Next.
That's the way the cookie crumbles.
That's better. How much would your annual heating bill fall if you dropped your thermostat from 21.1 to 20 degrees Celsius? I'm some sort of renewable energy salesman. I don't know what's happened to me. How much would your annual heating bill fall if you dropped your thermostat by 1 degree? Would you save 1%, 2%, 5%, or 10% on your heating bill?
Martin, you should turn down the temperature in the church centre by 1.
I could talk to the heat miser, who is already at 20 degrees because he's a heat miser.
Love that.
Is it 20 degrees in here?
Don't know about then. Right, the answer's 5% and 13. You got that right. Very good.
Let's have a look. Oh, wow. Not much movement, but a little. Biscoff is now in third place, and Chocolate Digests More is in second. So, and
what is that thing that's up 10 places there, Ollie?
It says
what?
Back and then soon. So back soon is the highest.
Back soon. Very good. Very good. Right, let's keep going. How long does it take for a styrofoam coffee cup to decompose? That's one of those ones that you can see there if you're familiar with those. 2 months, 10 years, 400 years, or 4 million years?
Gosh.
Styrofoam obviously doesn't easily decompose, but does it take 2 months, 10 years, 400 years, or 4 million years? Hannah, do you want to hazard a guess?
I feel like it breaks quite easily. Like, I've definitely, you know, when you're holding it and you get that urge to like pop it in too, because.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So then it must.
You think 2 months?
That's not how things work. I thought you said you did well in
400 years.
What?
Isn't that terrifying?
That's
It
mad.
takes 400 years for it to actually break down into, you know, minerals or whatever. Again, 400 years. 15 people knew that as well, or guessed it correctly.
Let's have a look. Ooh.
Dun 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 dun.
The biscuit.
The Biscuitinator.
Now in first 3 correct answers streak. That's not how you say it.
You got any more catchphrases for us, Charles, from the Biscuitinator? Don't you do improv like semi-professionally?
Yeah, I do.
Isn't this the sort of
You
thing
didn't like my
you've
first
waited
one.
for?
You threw me off at the first one, so I'm like, I haven't really got any more.
All right, you maybe like have a little notepad or something. Write down things you think of. Right, question number 7. Which country consumes the most energy in the world? Is it China, Russia, India, or the USA?
Not Russia, because I feel like a lot of that is just snow. I'm going to go with China. Sorry. I think out loud.
Can we just think about that? If it's really cold.
And I was like, America's got a lot of desert, and Russia's got a lot of snow. China's got a lot of people, and people are energy. Oh.
I mean, it is actually the USA, and bless you, the one person who voted for Russia. But if it's cold somewhere, Hannah, and as I said, I believe you are a scientist, don't you need to use like the heating?
Yeah, but it's like cold, like it's just polar bears and like boats having a good time. It's not like people in igloos. It's like, move on. Next
Russia,
question, please.
Of all the ways to describe Russia, polar bears and boats having a good time is not one I've heard. What's that done to the scores?
Well, Chocolate Digest S'more is now in first place, and Chocolate Hobnobs is now in third. So it's all very tight in the top 5. So,
but who's in second place, Charles?
Is it the Biscuitinator?
Yes. No, not got anything.
I'm writing stuff down.
I was trying. The thing is, I've come up with one, but it's not very appropriate, so I don't really want to say it.
Right, let's move on to the last question. If you've got any Terminator biscuit puns, do send them to us. It's double points. Which of the following is an alternative material for making paper? Can you make it from panda poo, crushed spiders, monkey hair, or fish bones? Well, that's a wacky question.
I know this one. Do
you? Charles, what do you think?
I'm too busy coming up with biscuit puns.
Sorry, I'm getting you to multitask now. Yeah, you can make paper out of one of these 4 things. Hannah, what do you think it is?
Well, I had sheep poo from Wales. I didn't have sheep poo. I had sheep poo paper from Wales. So less panda is very different.
Well, the answer is panda poo, and 11 of you got that right. Well, that may have sort of set the cat among the pandas. So we because that was double points. We might have a completely different winner. Let's find out who won. Ollie, over to you.
Right. Well, in third place was Eliza Hamilton. Well done. Well done. In second place was Chocolate Hobnobs.
Oh, yes!
And in first place was Chocolate Digest S'more. Well done.
Oh, no.
And Rich T was in 4th.
Yes!
Oh,
yes.
Wow. So I saw that in 5th place, Charles, we had the Biscuitinator. Got anything to say?
I'll take you on a Viennese whirl. It's not even really good. I'm really sorry. I tried.
Oh, that's brilliant. Right, that was fun. Enjoyed that. Well done, everyone. Well done, the winner, whoever you were. Right, we're going to move on. We've taken far longer than we said we were going to. We're going to move on to the first section of this evening's discussion, which is all around living more sustainably. We better go straight to the video, Ollie.
Charles, I want to talk to you about bins. I know if you've looked through your bins recently, Charles. Do you do the bins at home?
I do the bins actually. That's my role.
One of your chores.
One of my chores.
Yeah. And do you ever sort of notice how much stuff is going in those bins? Not even in the one that goes just to landfill, but the one where it's recycling, where you've washed things out and you've tried, and you think about all that plastic packaging, and you look at it and you think, did we really need like all of those layers of plastic and cardboard and whatever? It's ridiculous how much we throw away, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And it's frustrating. I will be honest, it's a bugbear of mine.
You know, some people live almost zero waste.
Yes.
They somehow managed. How would you do that?
I don't know. There are ways, but I'm sure we're going to get onto that at some point.
I hope so.
I don't want to ruin it. Yeah.
Oh, I haven't planned anything around that.
Oh, well, let me talk about it then.
Oh,
So,
great.
like, there's a shop near me now called New Leaf, Zero Waste in Woodhatch, in Reigate. And it's one of those reusable ones. So you take your plastic bottles and you can refill your shower gels and your soaps and all sorts.
Can you get cereals? Have you seen those? You can,
Yeah,
you
like
can go and get
cereal bar. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. But it's really good because it's like, instead of going to the Morrison's when you've run out of shower gel, you can just refill up your bottle and then that's one less plastic bottle.
What's it called? New Leaf?
New Leaf.
I think we should, it's a little shout out. We could do shout outs.
Yeah.
That's okay.
And we won't even ask you to sponsor us because you're doing good work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the point is, anyway, that, we throw away so much stuff. And we've actually lived for a long time in this kind of disposable culture. And I think we think back to like before the pandemic, we've done a lot of that in this little season. We think back to before the pandemic and we were living such a disposable lifestyle. Like not just your single-use plastics, but just everything about life is very throwaway. And it's also, very unsustainable. So we're kind of burning down the planet's resources and we all know it. And yet we've all sort of been complicit. We've all said, it's really bad, isn't it? It's really bad that we're burning up the world's resources. But most of us don't do a huge amount to sort of stop that or to do anything about it. And what happened was the pandemic hit and a load of stuff stopped. So suddenly flights, for example, were grounded. People used their cars way less. So my car had like a tank of fuel in March and by May I still had a full tank of fuel because I had nowhere to go. And we realized we hadn't really done anywhere near as much as we had. And yet, sadly, the scientists say it's made only a drop in the ocean in terms of a difference to the situation on the planet. Like way more has to be done. So it's been interesting because in this time we have been sort of forced to live more sustainably because we've lived kind of more locally, we haven't been able to travel so much, everything's been a bit smaller. And I don't know about you, but I feel like I've probably reduced my carbon emissions without even trying.
Yeah, I think so. I'm terrified to go to shops most days, so I've kind of stopped buying stuff.
So I guess my question to you, first of all, is how much do you think about what you do and your relationship to the planet and the environment?
Yeah, so how much do you think about and what is your relationship to the planet? That wasn't the question, but you get the general idea. So I'm going to throw it to Charles because I think he's still got a mouthful of crisps.
I don't.
Oh, go.
Do you still want to hear my opinion?
I still want to hear your mouthful.
No. I think about it a fair bit, but I don't think I think about everything. So I think there's little things that I remember about, so like plastics and bags and like driving and the rest of it. But there's probably a load of other stuff that I don't really think about and need to be reminded of or need to be made aware of. But yeah. What about you, Hannah?
No, I'm the same. I have like my reusable like cotton pads and plastic bags and all of that. And then someone pointed out that I was like flying like 5 or 6 times last year, and that kind of undoes all of that. So it's kind of, you think about the little things, don't you? But not with quite big things that you do.
Has anyone tried like toothpaste tablets? No, it's a rum and toothpaste tube, but like they're like toothpaste like little mints and that you like have to chew down on, and that's how you make the toothpaste. They are disgusting. I used one on Christmas Day because I got given one, and then I've never used them again. And it's hard. And it's, do you sacrifice your teeth brushing for the sake of the planet, or do you just go for toothpaste? Sorry, I feel like I might have undermined this section.
I've used bar shampoo. That's good.
Is toothpaste bad for the environment? Why is toothpaste bad for the environment?
Toothpaste tubes, right?
Tube.
But can't you just sell the toothpaste in a different format?
Yeah, maybe it's just I haven't found a good like.
You can't sell it in a cardboard box. So like, do you not think if they could have done it another way, they probably would have by now?
Well, all right, but I think that the toothpaste tablet is a good innovation. Like, especially if you were camping. Do you remember like Soul Survivor, where you'd have to like that long trudge at the end of the evening in your slippers to the toilet block.
It doesn't solve it because you still have to spit it out.
You just spit it out.
Yeah, but that's the same problem as going to the toilet block with your toothpaste.
All right. So is the PolEv link is working. So it's polev.com/satellites live. And you might want to use that if you want to be really honest about how much you think about the environment, your relationship to the planet. I think young people sort of get this, have this image that they're really concerned, that they're sort of climate campaigners because of Greta and all that, you know, that you're all really, really fired up and passionate about the climate, but maybe you're not. So it'd be really good to hear from you whether this is something that you care about, that you're passionate about, that you think about, and that you act about. So you can do that, polev.com/satellites live, or on the chat on YouTube, which basically is always only adults, or the WhatsApp groups.
We have
any comments
already?
Oh, great.
Saying, I tried to do my best, but probably not as much as I could. Which is,
good honesty.
I feel the same.
Anyone else?
We have one more. It says, or two more. Whoa. I want to change things, but I don't know how. And somebody saying, I'm always nagging my children to turn off the lights when they leave a room. A simple way to make a difference. It is. I agree.
I'm guessing that comes from a parent.
I would imagine so. Yeah.
Smart. We've got one on the chat that said they wish supermarkets didn't cover everything in plastic, and that is very true. When you're trying to be sustainable, but you want a bar of chocolate, for example, and it's covered in plastic, for example, or a carrot. I don't know.
The worst is, you know, when you get like brioche and it's like it's in a plastic bag with 6 in, but like each brioche is wrapped in its own bag. So it's a very niche example, but I just mean, like, you know, when it's unnecessary. Like a packet of sweets, and then each sweet is wrapped in plastic as well, you know?
You've got a very Rigation palate, haven't you, Ollie? Brioche is your example.
Oh, I can't stand my brioche being individually wrapped. Woe is me.
Well, at least I care.
Someone said, I think that I am quite good at being environmentally friendly, e.g. walking to school and back from school, which is good. I mean, sometimes it's just making those conscious decisions, isn't it? Sometimes to walk rather than to drive, especially when you can finally start to drive yourself, rather than going, well, I can drive, so therefore I will. Actually taking those conscious decisions, actually, I'm going to walk today. The weather's all right.
I sometimes gallop to the shops, just, you know, if I'm in a mood. Yeah.
I really want to see that.
Nope.
Shall we go on to the second section of today's discussion?
So in the first section, we talked about how during COVID, we've been forced to slow down, and we've maybe been sort of forced to think about how sustainable our living is. I'll tell you something else that's happened over this kind of period of pandemic is what I want to call comfort shopping. And it's delivered through those wonderful people who come to your door day and night with a little box, which they used to pass to you. Do you remember you used to have to sign for things and people would pass you a thing and you'd say thank you? Now, they literally knock at your door and it doesn't matter how fast you get to the door, they've run.
Yeah. Have they?
I'm over here now.
Because I get the ones where they're like, can you just pose for your photo? And you have to stand there like, yes, it has been delivered.
Who are those delivery services?
I mean, they just want to take a picture of the parcel to show that they've delivered it. But it is a bit awkward because you're then like, can I take it now? Like, I didn't realise I was having a photo shoot.
The only time that's happened to me, I was wearing my pyjamas. So I hope that picture never makes it onto the internet. But the point is, we've all had loads of deliveries from, Amazon and various other providers, but also food delivery services. Like, we're having way more food deliveries than we ever had before. It used to be that you just got like pizzas. There was a couple of places, you know, maybe an Indian or a Chinese takeaway. Now everybody's doing delivery. The wonders of Mac delivery, as you and I both know, you know, and all these other, you know, Subway, KFC, everyone you can think of is doing home delivery now. And that's become a routine, a rhythm for us. But, you know, instead of kind of just cooking our own food, going out to restaurants, you know, more and more we're having someone cook it and then motorbike it round to our houses. And so again, you know, it's first of all, it's not terribly kind of environmentally friendly, but it's also, it's kind of fueling a consumer culture that is about comfort. So it's like we comfort ourselves in the fact that we can have some more stuff. Isn't that a bit, you feel like you're looking quite guilty, Charles. Do you want to confess something?
I find that when I'm really like, when I can't get to sleep, my comfort shopping goes up.
Okay.
And I'm just there like, I'm just going on eBay and I type in random stuff and I'm like, oh, I remember those little micro play sets that I used to have as a kid. I wonder if they still exist.
Do you buy them or do you just look them up?
No, but I
oh,
mean,
that's okay.
Sometimes I do. Sometimes, and not that particular example.
Yeah.
But sometimes I get really close. I'm like really debating and going, it is 30 quid and like it would be amazing to have
What's
this.
the weirdest thing you've
It's
ever
like
bought?
a hunchback. What's the weirdest thing I've ever bought?
Yeah.
I mean, I am a children's minister, so I've bought some random stuff for work. The most random thing that I've ever bought, I did get a pack of Lego minifigures of DuckTales.
DuckTales?
DuckTales, woohoo! Yeah, I got Scrooge, I got Huey, Louie and Dewey, yeah.
Wow.
That was one of the late night ones, for sure.
So, you know, I think, let's ask a question. For you, has over the course of you know, pandemic and lockdown, the various lockdowns that we've been in, has your consumption, do you think, gone up, or have you managed to cut it back a little bit? What's that look like for you?
Okay, be honest. We can't be the only ones. Hannah, has consumption gone up during lockdown? Have you found yourself ordering random items on the internet that you know that you don't really need, but you've just decided to buy?
Yes, but also no. I think my food consumption and like buying, you know, when you're like, oh, life's rubbish, I'm going to buy something, that has translated to more food. Yes. But I'm quite a like impulse shopper, or I see someone else with something, especially clothes. You see something on someone else and you're like, oh, you look gorgeous, I'm going to buy it. And that's been a much less. So a bit of both.
I've noticed
more food.
I've noticed that you well, I was about to say you haven't copied Martin's dress style yet, but I'm not like, as in like, you know, as a compliment to Martin, that, you know, she hasn't seen something on you, Martin, and gone, I must buy that. Yeah.
Good one. Yeah. So anybody join in with any comments? Just if only to stop Charles from speaking.
If someone had joined in with the comments, do you think I would have not just shut myself up and gone to a comment? If anyone had commented, I would have gladly have cut away quite quickly from that.
I'd love to know whether people feel like they've been overusing delivery services, because obviously it's in some cases the only way you can get certain things. You can't go to a restaurant, so you know, and maybe you're not allowed to go out to go and pick up food or something. Then you know, maybe it's the only way you can get something. But I just wonder whether it's become a bit more of a habit than that, really, and it's become very convenient. What do people think? polev.com/satellites live, or join in on the WhatsApp chat. And we have got some comments coming in right now. One person says, I think I'm quite good at being environmentally friendly, e.g. walking to and from school at the moment. Very good.
That's not the question.
No, it's not. No. I just realised that I was answering the previous question,
which I'd already read out.
Yes. All right, Charles. Are we going to get like that tonight?
Someone said on the WhatsApp group that they're not going to supermarkets, so they're doing a lot less, and it's gone down. I think that's what they said. Yeah. So getting food is better in their opinion, which is interesting. I think impulse buying is quite a thing, that you're just there, so you want it, but actually, maybe if it's not there, it forces you to think a little bit.
I wonder whether impulse buying is more applicable for adults who have their own sort of Amazon accounts and stuff like that, whereas for younger people, probably don't have their own Amazon account. I don't know whether there's an age limit on Amazon. But yeah, someone said they've only had one delivery over lockdown.
That is impressive.
That's impressive.
That is good. Yes, somebody says in the beginning, but not now. Back at the start, it was to find something to look forward to, as everything had been taken away from us.
That's very true. I think some people do. Like if you know something's coming in the post, in a weird way, you look forward to it, don't you? And that's a little bit sad in some ways, but also you do a little bit. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but it's like gives you a little.
It's not weird. Also, it's nice to see the postman, isn't it? I mean, admittedly, you don't really see the postman because he's already left. He bangs on the door now and runs.
Yeah.
That's been fun. Oh, Hannah, have you thought of something?
No, just while no one said anything, have they yet? My postman yesterday saw me talking to my mum from outside the house, and she was inside the house, so I was going like this in the window, and he walked up to me and asked if I was okay, because he thought I was mentally ill because I was waving at the window and he couldn't see anyone. He was genuinely concerned for my welfare. I just wanted to share that with the group because it was really, really embarrassing. Like, you know, those moments where you go like tomato red. Anyway,
Yes.
Has anyone else said anything back?
No, unfortunately not, Hannah. Hannah, we're
Ollie,
gonna...
have we got any anonymous stuff
We do have
on
one,
Pillhead?
yes.
Great.
Somebody said whoa! Another one has just arrived in. How exciting! Sorry, I couldn't help but acknowledge that.
We feel your excitement.
What is happening?
Anyway, the first one says they're trying to support local businesses with food deliveries rather than like big chains and supermarkets.
Very good.
And then somebody else said there is a proven endorphin increase when you click buy now. So
wow, hello science.
Scientific.
That's cool.
But yeah, I mean I can imagine that. Yeah. You know, when
I feel like with TikTok, a lot of people are doing small businesses more and kind of supporting local rather than supporting little tiny ones rather than big shops.
Got to be careful there when you buy on Instagram, because you're not legally bound to receive the item that you bought because they haven't got that trade association. Just a heads up, people. Just call me Martin Lewis.
Very sensible.
Great. Thank you. Well, shall we go into our final video then?
I think we should.
We shall. Shall I
Great.
move us on to it?
Okay.
Let's go.
So the world hasn't sort of stood still during pandemic. All these other things have been going on. Obviously, we've had the Black Lives Matter movement. It's really drawn our attention to kind of issues around racial injustice. And one of the other big conversations that's been going on is around the climate crisis. And I don't think you can deny anymore the scientific fact that the climate, the environment is in real trouble, and the damage that that humankind has inflicted upon the world is really starting to sort of cause some problems, particularly for sort of groups of people who never get a voice in these kind of things, who are in countries where the effects of the climate crisis are actually hitting first. So there's problems, real problems, flooding and overheating and all sorts of things that happen. I guess, when we're thinking about our consumption and we're thinking about sustainability this week, I wonder whether the pandemic has given us a moment to pause and reflect on whether we can be doing more. I don't know, is this kind of something that you feel passionately about? Is this something that you care about?
Yes, I am passionate about it, but I would be lying to say that I'm proactive about it. So I absolutely agree with everything that you've just said. But if I'm honest, and I'm hoping that other people watching are also honest, I talk about the fact that filled up plastic things, but I am also guilty of ordering online and it comes in bubble wraps, endless bubble wrap, and you're like, oh, so I am passionate about it, and you're absolutely right, because we don't feel the effects of this sort of stuff. We get the nice sunshine, and we're like, oh, this is nice. Yeah. We get less snow, which is a bit of a bummer, but we don't necessarily notice it. Whereas there are other countries who are really feeling it, and I think we can become quite ignorant actually about that sort of stuff, and you bringing it up is really good because it helps us to be reminded of the fact that it's not us who are impacted by it as much. And therefore it's really important. Yeah,
and I think it's also really important to say that that there's actually a massive direct link between our faith as Christians and what it looks like to follow Jesus and the issue of caring for the environment. The Bible says in Psalm 24 verses 1 to 2, the earth is the Lord's and everything in it, the world and all who live in it. For he founded it on the seas and established it on the waters. So God's creation is really important. God really cares about the world that he made because it's his. It's part of the creation that we're also part of. And when we talk about what it means for us to live with God at the center of our lives, then we also acknowledge that he has work for us to do in the world. And that work, we sometimes call it the work of the kingdom, the bringing of the kingdom, is about things like justice. Yeah. And climate care is a big issue of injustice. So God really cares about it, and it's a really central part of the Christian life. So as we reflect coming out of, hopefully coming out of pandemic now, do we have an opportunity as Christians to think, this really matters? I've kind of realized how much I consume and how unsustainable my life is. I realize it really matters to God. Maybe I need to make some changes. And so we have a question to finish this week. Charles.
Yes. How can we be better at looking after our environment?
In Psalm 24, verses 1 to 2, the earth is the Lord and everything in it, the world and all who live in it.
Are you sure about that?
Am I the only one who didn't understand
How have
what
you
on
not
earth
seen
that was?
the John Cena meme? Everyone has seen it. Trust me. Hannah has seen
Uh,
it. I have seen it. That's everyone.
Charles, have you seen it?
No, I haven't seen it.
But Charles is like an old man. So
Well, it's not true. I have
Isn't
seen the
this
video.
interesting?
The start down.
This is divided down lines once again of biscuit affiliation.
Oh, it's true. It has. You're
Well,
right.
it's 'cause
Is it?
Is the
Go on.
rich tea the hip biscuit? Because I would argue a hobnob's way hipper than a
Yeah. Is it? If you're a hobnob aficionado, are you in some way too cool to know the John Cena meme?
You're not cool if you like hobnob.
Yeah, I think you're proving my point. What was the question?
How can we be better at looking after our environment?
Great question, Ollie. Hannah, you're a scientist. How do you think we could be better at looking after our environment? What are the practical things that we can do?
I'm sorry. I think knowing and being informed about it is definitely really helpful. Half the time we're not doing anything because we don't realise that what we're doing is doing what it's doing. I'm being really articulate today.
That's good.
That was really funny. But I think getting informed and knowing what people are doing to help it, knowing what you're doing and the impact it's having, and then starting small, making a commitment and sticking to it so that you don't kind of have like a phase of, I'm going to save the world, and then I'm speaking from experience, and then it doesn't happen. So starting small and then building up, but also being aware. There's loads of people doing loads of amazing stuff, especially like young people, and just being aware of it, sharing it, talking about it, I think definitely makes an impact.
Very good answer. Yeah, really good. You can, of course, comment on this, polev.com/satellites live, or on the WhatsApp groups, or on the YouTube comments. Anyone got anything?
Whoa!
Recycle. Someone said recycle, but it was in capitals, so I felt the need to shout it. But recycling, that's a good thing.
Very good. Ollie, you seem to have something. You got very excited.
Oh, gosh, 2 answers came flying in at once then, and it was gosh, my endorphins were off the charts. Anyway, I felt there's a third one. Sorry, right. Do
you want to tell us what any of them are, or just really get excited?
I'm gonna get to it now. Well, I was filling time so others could come in. Anyway.
Very good.
Walk. This is all part of one answer. Walk more. Turn the lights off. Try to buy loose food instead of pre-packaged food. That's a good one.
Loose food.
As in, like, I guess it's like the fruit.
I know what you mean.
Okay. It wasn't my answer. Less usage of plastic, especially things that canteens at school provide, which has plastic containers for everything. Doing things like asking to use different materials as well is very good. And then bake your own brioche instead of plastic wrap stuff. Great answer. I will take that into consideration.
Yeah, Ollie.
And will be making my own brioche from now on.
Did they say, Ollie, that you should campaign for people to use different materials? Was that right?
Sorry, yes. Let me go back to that one. Yes, so I think they were saying, so their school canteen uses a lot of plastic. Yeah. And they were saying doing things like, you know, maybe asking them to maybe
Yes.
switch out that. I think
That's
it's a
what I was
really
going to say.
good
That's
answer
quite
to
an
that.
easy win. I think you could probably get that done.
Yeah, definitely.
So go for it. Kick up
I
a
wonder.
fuss.
Do you know what? I've spent the whole evening wondering whether I should be trying to turn the heat miser down.
Charles did mention it earlier.
I did tell you.
I
to.
know. Well, I don't like pushing back against authority. You know me, and I'm worried I might get in trouble,
I
or
want
it
to.
might
Gosh.
do something bad if I press the button.
Well, how's the
I don't wanna
temperature
make you-
feeling?
Yeah, I don't want to make you feel jealous, Martin, but I've got 2 heat misers in front of me, so I could do it too. If you
All
want.
right, let's see what happens if I press this. Oh gosh, the lights come on. I didn't want to do that. I'm going to get in trouble.
Oh, no.
I feel like an alarm's just gone off at some senior church leader's house. I feel like Richard's watching this and something's just gone off on his phone, little ping.
Martin, mine are flashing.
Someone's touched one of the heat misers.
Martin, what have you done? Because mine are flashing.
What? No, don't say
Mine are
that.
flashing now.
Oh no.
They're not really.
I can't make it stop. Oh, now I've turned it.
Call for support.
Let's move on. If I'm here, you can't see the heat
You
miser. It's
just
all
do the-
fine.
You just did the. Wait, come in, please.
We're going over live to Richard Wilson in the vicarage, who's going to give us an update on my firing. Right. Have we got more? Have we got
Yes.
more answers? Go.
I think we can buy fair trade products, recycle, walk to shops, shop locally. Yes. Make sure that what you're buying is in season. Sorry, I've just added to that. But make sure what you're buying is in season, so fruit and stuff, so that it's not being imported from overseas. Try and eat with the seasons rather than against them.
Some of our gorgeous young people are helping to make Fair Trade Reigate Fair Trade. There's an Instagram you can follow just to shout that out.
Oh,
I don't know
yeah.
what it is. It's Fair Trade Reigate. I'm following.
Yeah, I'll get it up. We put it
You
up
get it
on
up.
a story before.
That's a really good small little thing you can do if you press follow.
Yeah, it's called Fair Trade Reigate, literally.
Yes.
I don't know if you can share it on your story or something.
Very good. Any more for any more? Or are we going to get ready to ask Charles to do his Ellie Goulding impression?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do that. So,
Love me like you do.
not that one.
No. I actually forgot what song it is.
Right.
What are you waiting for?
What are you waiting for? Love me like you
No,
do.
it's the same song.
Same
Yeah,
song.
okay.
That's why I'm singing it. That makes-
Right. We are going to do a quick Kahoot because we've got the quarterfinals of What Are You Waiting For?
What are you waiting for?
So you need to put in the code, which is 6175377, and we're going to
Leave
vote.
the music on.
What
Sorry.
music?
There's like funky Kahoot music. Let
Oh.
us know if you like it or not, or if I should turn it off. It's very funky. You should listen.
Okay, so who's here? Chloe Pepper's here. Hello, Chloe. 6175377 is the code. And we're actually going to do 6 bounce this week because that's how we've got to do it to get to the final, semi-finals and finals in 2 weeks' time. I see one of your old friends is there, Ollie.
Wow, Sir Porkalot has arrived.
It's just a question mark. Pink wafers.
Pink wafers!
Pink
Oh my
Panthers, mate.
goodness.
Love a pink wafer.
Hobnobs are best. Cornish crew. They sound like pirates. Manny Bat. Cow biscuits.
Yeah, I'd love a cow biscuit, to be fair.
Charles' #1 fan. Hobnob.
What about a ginger nut? Throwing it into the mix. I do love a ginger nut. They're a great biscuit.
That is a
It's like a savoury
good
biscuit.
shout.
It feels
What
like.
about this eating with morning sickness?
Hey, a nun has just turned up. I wonder if that is an actual nun.
A nun. Wow. It might be a nun. I don't
I
know.
like
What is-
nuts.
Anonymous. That's a good one, Charles.
Cookie crumble.
Thank you.
So we'll just wait a couple of moments. So we've got, we've been asking you over the last few weeks
Ooh,
to
penguin.
vote for the things that you are looking forward to coming back. So what are the things that you're waiting for? And so we've got 6 rounds, and these are the matchups that come out of the last round, as it were. So we've done it fairly randomly, and so you've now got to choose what goes into the semi-finals and then the grand final in 2 weeks' time. So I think we're quorate. Let's go for it, Ollie.
I'm ready. Let's go. Ooh.
So the first question. Charles, I'm very happy if you do the theme music anytime you want. Question number 1, what are you waiting for?
What are you waiting for?
Is it swimming
What
pools?
are you waiting for?
Not more than once a question.
Okay.
Swimming pools reopening or cinemas and theatres reopening? Where are you going on this one, Hannah?
Swimming pools. It's the only form of exercise I actually enjoy.
You seem to do some sort of synchronized swim dance.
That's not. Anyway, swimming pools. Yeah.
What about you, Charles? I think I know which way you'd be going, Charles.
Yeah, ever since they closed down Waterworld, it's got to be cinemas and theatres reopened. Still haunts me.
Let's go. Let's skip to it. Well, there we go. A big win for cinemas and theatres reopening there. Sorry. Yeah. And we'll go straight on to number 2 because we've got a few to get through here in the last few minutes. Which of these are you looking forward to? What are you waiting for? School, and that's school continuing and not closing, because obviously we put school through before you went back to school, or satellites restarting in person. So I guess that's quite a hard one, isn't it? Because you're already at school, but I'm thinking about the continuation of school versus satellites in person.
Gosh, that is.
Why are people hesitating to answer this one?
Because we don't have biscuits until at least May.
That's so true.
All right, let's see how that's shaken down.
Let's have a look.
Oh,
look at that! Wow.
There we go. Into the semi-finals go satellites restarting in person.
Love that.
Okay, number 3. What are you waiting for? Charles?
What are you waiting for? Go on for
it. Meeting up in a small group. Very good. Meeting up in a small group inside or the end of social distancing. So which of those
social distancing
are you most looking forward to? Yeah, it's hard really to vote for any other than that, isn't it? I think that might be the winner of the whole thing. Meeting up in a small group inside or no social distancing. What are you waiting for?
Charles, you like social distancing, though. It's avoiding.
I do actually quite like it. Not going to lie.
Sounds like he doesn't really want to meet up in a small group inside either.
Sounds like you don't like people.
Yeah. I social distancing. Yeah, I mean, it depends who they are, innit?
Ooh. Well, that was closer than I thought it was going to be.
It's close.
Let's move on.
Oh, sorry, yeah, that's my job.
Question number 4. What are you waiting for? Holidays or shops reopening?
What are you waiting for?
You're like a slightly malfunctioning device, aren't you, Charles?
Yes.
Are you most looking forward to holidays or shops reopening? What are you thinking, Hannah?
Holidays. I want to go camping with friends and just sit and eat marshmallows by the beach. I want to go on holiday. Holidays.
All right. And Charles?
Yeah, I've gone for holidays. Not that I go on them, but it's just the idea.
Why don't you go on holidays?
Yeah, I should.
What do you mean you don't go on holiday?
What? Hang on.
Them very often.
Why?
I don't know. Because they're expensive.
Not if you do it in England. That's
Yeah,
what
I
we
know.
do. Have a little trip to the sea.
They're still expensive. I just.
Oh, you're coming camping with us in the summer. This has to be rectified. Okay, cool.
Ollie, what about you? Holidays or shops reopening? What are you looking for?
Well, the answers are in, but I would have said holidays as well. I agree with the majority. So.
Very good.
Charles.
Holiday.
Stick to the script, Charles. Just one song. Which of these are you most looking forward to? Barbecues or going to live sporting events? You'll see I've chosen a photograph there. I've tried to do this with all of them. A photo that illustrates both concepts.
Is that you and
These
Charles?
two appear to be. This is me and Charles.
Martin, I got a hot dog. Marty, look at me. I got my cat backwards and I got a hot dog.
Come on, Charles. Think of a hot dog based pun. Go on, go on. I can't think of any. Oh, it's barbecues. Barbecues are the thing that you are most looking forward to.
Yeah.
14, you said that. So they're through to so let me just recap. Going through to the semi-finals, we have cinemas and theatres, satellites restarting in person, not being socially distanced anywhere, holidays and barbecues. And one of these last three, because we had to put 2 through from around last week. So you've got 3 to choose from. Isn't that exciting? What a great twist. At the end, I can't contain myself. Can you, Heat Miser? Oh. Right, let's do the third.
Can you just replace me with Heatomizer again? What's going on here?
This is what happens when we go past 8 o'clock. Right, the final question. What are you waiting for?
Sleepovers, hairdressers reopening, or zoos and theme parks reopening?
What are you waiting for?
I love it.
Oh, why did you put those in?
Why did I put those in? Because those were the 3 options.
Yeah, it's just you put them together, and that's
because hairdressers reopening and zoos and theme parks reopening came through from the same round, and then sleepovers was randomly attached. You got to choose between those.
I love the picture because you get teddy bears at sleepovers. They're covered.
Oh, it nearly happened again.
Oh gosh.
Oh, well, that's the end of hairdressers and zoos because everyone wants a sleepover.
Yes.
And that's it. That is our semi-final lineup complete. Thank you very much.
Martin, can we have a sleepover when this is done?
Absolutely not.
Why not?
Let's
last season.
Does this now technically count as an after show?
Yeah, it's technically the after show.
Right.
I'm a bit worried.
Satellites. After hours. Here we go. That's it. That is it for, and well overdue, the end of Satellites Live for another week. We won't be back next week, but we will come up with some special bonus content. Charles is writing down a gag. And we'll be back. We'll do something. Ollie and I will come up with something in Luton, we promise. Thanks for joining us, being part of it once again. Charles, why don't you pray for us? Because you seem like you maybe need to insert some holiness into your life.
Oh.
Dear Lord.
Come on.
Dear Lord, thank you for this evening. Thank you for friendships. Thank you for laughter. Thank you for fun. And thank you for the world that you created. I pray that you will give us ownership over it and that we will be good stewards of this wonderful, beautiful planet. Lord, help us to be more sustainable. Help us to be accountable to one another. And let's try and stop climate change and make this world a better place for everyone, not just for ourselves. And I pray for next week. I pray that Martin and Ollie have a great time in Luton without us. In your name, amen.
Amen.
Amen. Very gracious. So we've decided a few things this evening. And one of them is, of course, the best biscuit in the world, which is
a rich tea.
The hobnob.
The digestive. It was technically voted by the digestive.
All right, fine.